up, brother, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Set your
One of the best parts about being in the travel industry is that you can change how you move and get completely different results. So this April, inside Ash Knows Travel, I am going live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, breaking down the travel agent industry.
And we all got dreams. Let's go. We all want things. But what you
Make sure you subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss it. I'll see you there at Ash Knows Travel.
Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book strong and build smarter. And tonight's training is called Lookers versus Bookers Part 2. This is in accordance to just the original Lookers versus Bookers. If you haven't seen it yet, I will be doing it live for corporate the last Friday of the month. But I also have a recording, so if you need it, let me know, and I will drop it in the chat for you. But this is going to be a part 2 version, a much requested version, okay? And I'm so excited to be doing this with you guys tonight. But we're going to talk about how to talk, how to handle objections, and how to close. Since part 1 is honestly about qualifying, tonight's training is going to be about actually what to say once you have identified who you want to book with, okay? We're going to break down how to communicate with confidence, how to handle common objections without feeling awkward, and how to guide the conversation toward a booking into a natural and professional way. So if you are live here, go ahead and drop a quick hello in the chat so that I know that you are with me. And if you happen to be watching this on a replay, I still want to know that you stopped by. So make sure you go ahead and comment replay in the chat so that I know that you are here. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into Lookers versus Bookers Part 2. Now, before I start my trainings, you know already that I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing for the rest of the month, just in case you just happen to catch one of these trainings. I want to still show you what I'm doing for the rest of the month, okay? So tonight we are doing Lookers versus Bookers, how to talk, handle, and close, all right? And then Thursday, we're going to talk about how to keep leads warm. We're going to go through newsletters, promos, and follow-ups that convert, okay? The week after that, we're going to talk about hidden vendors that travel agents aren't using but should be. We're going to do an advanced training on that Thursday about batching and scheduling your content. And then at the end of the month, I'll be covering how to market travel on your personal page. And we're going to do from the inquiry to a booking, we're going to do the entire sale process and where agents go in and actually lose the sale. We're going to cover that on the last Thursday of the month, okay? So make sure you guys like my YouTube channel and subscribe. And as well, make sure you tap the bell so you always get notifications when I go live. Yes? All right, so let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the continuation part of Lookers versus Bookers. So originally we were talking about how to qualify them or how to make sure that we're not wasting our time on certain people, right? So when it comes down to the reality of being a travel agent, most of us, okay, now if you're brand new and like you just started marketing like a week ago, I'm not talking to you, okay? I'm talking to the people that have been here for quite a bit of time. We have pretty established marketing. We know what we're doing when we're posting. Like I'm talking about these types, okay? Now, normally on this average, we don't have a lead problem, okay? What it comes down to is it starts to being a conversation problem. And a lot of the times people are interested and they're reaching out, but there's not a continued path to actually bringing them to a close. And that is because we lack the direction and honestly, they're just not booking it. So Tonight, what we're going to talk about is how to control that conversation, how to stop oversending, and how to close the booking. Yes? Now, comment for me. How many of you guys, even if you're brand new, I've had somebody say they were interested, but they didn't book? That is probably one of the most common things that we go through as travel agents. And we need to talk about the part leading up to this. I'm not talking about tonight what you're sending in a quote. I'm not even going to get to the actual quote process. That might have to be a part 3 of lookers and bookers, okay? But tonight, what I'm actually going to be talking about, how, like, after we start talking to them, from all the way to the part where we're going to close them. I'm going to teach you guys how to do a close before you actually even send a quote, so you stop wasting your time and sending quotes on to people who aren't actually interested. That is what we're going to cover for tonight, okay? So before we get into it, let's do a quick recap of spotting the difference between lookers versus bookers. This is what I cover in the beginning, which is for the people that say they're just looking, they have no timeline, and then they ask random questions. In lookers versus bookers, we talk about how this is typically what we're not looking for, right? But we also talk about how to kind of pull them into if we want them to be bookers. So if we have people who are here, our job is to move them, right? So how do we move them? We ask about pricing, we ask about exact dates, and we move them to the next steps of booking, right? This is the identifying the lookers versus bookers. If we think that they're just looking, we qualify them. If they have no timeline, we qualify them. If they don't understand the process, we qualify, right? That was the entire part 1 of lookers versus bookers. So taking this, we're going to say, all right, we have qualified. Now we're on to the part where we're actually getting them into a step of booking, right? So that is exactly where we're starting off for tonight. So the normal conversation flow that we have for clientele is we get the inquiry, we qualify them a little bit, and then we just send information out, right? I don't know where your quote process is, but can you agree that's pretty common? That's what most travel agents do, right? They don't really ever have a full conversation. They normally just send information, right? When you do that, guess what your clients do? They go and compare. That's exactly what they do, right? There's actual no control that you have over that because you just sent the info and you just left it out there, right? So what we're going to talk about tonight is the ultimate control shift. We're going to talk about how you actually are taking the lead and you're going to pull them in slowly by guiding them. Yeah. And then once we guide them, we're going to filter them so that they actually book. Okay. We are not Google. We are the expert guide. So we're going to be guiding them to a funnel. It's always a funnel. Okay. Now with that, we're going to start with the guiding with the DMs. We also don't want to ever over explain in the DMs or overwhelm them. Okay. Honestly, what I like to do is pull them from the DM and then get them into a text message and then kind of pull them from there. I don't like to leave them in DMs, especially like on TikTok, because I can't send links. They don't work well on there. So I always try to pull them out and then kind of guide them and filter them and close them over a text message or over the phone. I feel like it's more personal when they get your phone number than compared to a DM. But the DMs have to be a really good guide for us because if you're marketing on social media, you're going to get DMs, right? Where do you guys feel that this conversation falls off for you guys? Put it in the chat for me. I have a lot of people that will come to the part where they're filtering and then they just send the info. And then I will have agents come to me and be like, well, they didn't book with me. Well, that's because you just sent the info and then let them go look. Okay. We have to start making it to where we're filtering them and guiding them before we even get to the actual sending of the info. So continuing. We're going to talk about the 4-stage conversation flow and how you're exactly going to do that, okay? The first one, obviously, is lookers versus bookers part 1. We qualify them, okay? Once we qualify them, we're going to position what we are trying to do. When we're positioning it, we are guided experts. So we're acting like, in a sense of, this isn't what I'm going to book for you. It's more like this is what you're going to experience, right? When we're building that experience, we're also going to position it in a way to build the desire. And then we're going to get the close on it before we even start searching for prices. And I'm going to explain how. All right. Now, I will explain this in a sense of if you come to me and say this doesn't work, I'm going to come to you and say, you know what, you probably skipped a step. Because if you guys skip a step in any of this, you're going to automatically risk losing a booking. Because if you just position it and then send the information, you skip this part of building a desire, so they're less likely to close. And I'll explain these steps step by step, but I want you to understand that they all go hand in hand. And in a way, it's the same way as that funnel that I just showed you, right? The guide, filter, and close. So we're guiding them like out of our DMs. We start qualifying them, asking them questions. When they ask questions, we position them with different recommendations, different guidances, different ideas, building the desire, and then getting them to close it. All right. So step one, you must qualify. Yes. Now, of course, this is lookers and bookers, lookers versus bookers part one, but we need to get real information before you can even kind of build any type of positioning or any type of desire. You have to actually know what you're looking for. And a lot of us get scared to ask these questions, but I naturally kind of build into it, right? A lot of people, if you go to my TikTok, you'll see where they're going, book, book, book. I want more info. I want this. I want that. Okay. I have to qualify every single one of those people. Just because they comment doesn't mean that they're actually looking to book, right? So when I'm qualifying them, this is where it starts in my DMs. I will give them like, hey, I saw that you were interested. Before I start looking for you, can I get like an idea of what you're trying to experience, your desired vibe? And I don't really ask budget too much in the beginning because I'll filter that as I go. And for me, I only have them comment for 3 resorts. So the price is the price, okay? If your niche is for cruise lines or if your niche is for resorts, etc., and you want to kind of filter that, then you need to ask them what a real budget for them is, okay? But in the beginning, I'm just like, what are you looking to travel? What kind of vibe do you want? What kind of budget range are you trying to stay in? Like, no matter what you're going to, you have to kind of work that in, right? You need these 3 things before you can even continue, okay? Now, with this, you want to keep it simple. You want to stay in control, and you don't want to info dump on them because that will overwhelm them. And honestly, it'll get them to stop responding, right? Now, with the rule, though, is what I'm trying to get to. If there's no clarity on these 3, then there's no quote. You can't look up a quote without exact dates or a real budget or even a real idea of what they're trying to do, right? So step 1, do that. So when we are doing this conversation and we're qualifying them, I want you guys to kind of ask open-ended questions in every single one of those messages, okay? So start small yeses. Do these dates work? I'm qualifying them, but I'm asking them. If when they answer that, what are they going to say? Yes or no, right? And if they say no, they're going to give me different dates. But yes, that's one yes, okay? Is this the kind of vibe that you're asking for? Like, I'm going to give you an example. I'm qualifying one in my DMs right now, and he's told me that he wants to go on a trip, all inclusive with his wife. Okay. That automatically says romance, right? You're telling me you want to go with your wife. That means you're trying to be romantic. So I automatically first started off recommending the Desire Rivera Maya. That's just like my romantic go-to. And that's one of the top resorts I book. So I slide that one in there, but underneath it, I say, this is like a very romantic vibe for you. If that's your vibe, let me know. But I also want to know, okay, do you like lifestyle or are you into partying? So that makes me qualify them even more so I can give them better recommendations based off what they answer, okay? The reason I'm getting that is because if they like desire, then I know that's when to filter it, right? And then if I know that they want to party, then I'm going to throw in another resort. Like, I'm trying to figure out what their true experiences is, but I'm getting yeses and I'm filtering it down, right? These are micro commitments that are going to build directly towards that close because we didn't just get their inquiry form and close it, right? Even when I get their inquiry form, I just got one this morning. And he's planning a trip for him and his wife as well. He gave me the 3 resorts that he wanted in the inquiry form, but I'm still going to open it up because one of them said, surprise me. So now I have to kind of talk to him, right? So I'm talking to him and then he's like, I want a month in August. Okay. When I do these resorts, I normally book Thursday through Monday. That's just normally what most people book. So I told him, I said, hey, I normally book Thursday through Mondays. Is that okay with you? And he was like, yes, perfect. Okay. Like, that's what I'm trying to get to, you guys. Okay. Don't go in there and just get the quote and then start qualifying, because a lot of our inquiry forms and a lot of our messages are just open. They don't really give us too many details, right? So I try to get micro commitments throughout the conversation. That way, by the time I get to the actual closing, they already know what they're expecting. I've already built into the desire and I've already kind of set up the stage, and now I just have to deliver it. That's all I have to do. Okay. So that is the first part. Let's talk about number 2. in this, okay, when I'm starting to get these micro commitments, I'm giving out recommendations, right? You guys heard me say, okay, well, I automatically recommended the Desire Rivera Maya to them because it's romantic. That's my first one. I'm giving them, I'm the expert. I send people here. This is romantic, okay? Then I'm sliding in more of the questions too. Now I'm thinking like, okay, what's your vibe? Do you like to party? Maybe you like to party. This is my second option. Or do you like to do like lifestyle? Is that a little more of your thing? Then I'm going to slide in the other resort, right? And this way, I'm already kind of getting that, like, I'm the guide here. I know what I'm doing. I'm the expert and I'm recommending stuff, okay? If you cannot do this yet, then you need to do a little bit more research on what you're selling. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with doing more research. Always, we can learn, right? So I suggest to you guys, if you're going to be qualifying people like that in DMs, etc., get to know resorts. Get to know the cruise lines, get to know what they're for and what their audience is and who they're meant for. Okay. This is how you position yourself as an expert. And even if you don't know, I want you to take what they respond with and throw it into Chat GPT. Okay. Don't leave yourself hanging. Don't put yourself in a box. Build down that qualification, build down those questions. That way they can say, hey, look, this is what she suggested to me and she was right? That's a good way to get a referral too. Okay, so stop saying, here are some options. That is what we call a order taker, right? When you go to the restaurant and you're like, what's the best option you have here, right? That's an order taker. We don't want to do that. Instead, we want to say, based on what you told me, this is what I recommend, blah, blah, blah. Also, this is what I recommend, blah, 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 right? You are the expert. You have to own that authority. That's what they're coming to you for. They're not coming to get the cheapest, bestest deals. They'll just go on Expedia and do that. They don't need you for that. They need you to come in here and tell them what's correct and what's right and what they need to book. That's what they're going for, okay? So after we get in the process of doing that, okay, we need to build desire. One of the biggest things that I did wrong as a new travel advisor is I sent too much info. I would send them full quotes and just like I would paste the whole breakdown. Like, oh my gosh, I used to build presentations for clients back in the day. Yeah, you remember those days? Okay, like it was just like too many options, too much information, and it was like I just gave them everything on a platter and they were good. Like, okay, cool. Like, what do? They go and book it themselves. That's what they did, okay? So I have to have an advantage here. I have to have a strong point, right? So I'm going to give you an example from this morning. So the guy's quote that I was working on, he had hedonism. I'm going to do Desire Rivera Maya, and then I'm also going to do Secrets Hideaways for him because those are the 3 top resorts that we filtered together, okay? Now, I already sent him one quote, okay? And that's because I filtered him all the way through. It's a short flyer quote. It doesn't have all the details on it. It does have the resort, but guess what? They can't book hedonism by themselves. It's sold out for them. So this is like a secret thing for me. Do you see the advantage? Do you see why I sent him that quote? Not only did I send it for that reason, but guess what? There's 6 rooms left. So before I continue searching on my deep dive, I sent him that quote and I was like, hey, listen, there are 6 rooms left on this. And before I continue quoting you, I have to let you know this is the only weekend that they are available in August. So if you want this, you need to close it now. Now, I also know, okay, this is just me. I also know that a lot of people hate the flights part of it and they like don't want to do a big deposit because of the flight. So I did 2 quotes. I did one without flights and I did one with flights, okay? The price and the commission did not change because that doesn't make a difference, right? We don't get paid for flights. So I threw out there and I said, hey, if you need to close it now, we could do it without flights. It's a $50 deposit per person. Or if you want to obtain the flights, here's another package with it all included in there. Whatever you can do right now, this is how we can close it because these rooms are selling out, okay? This is how I'm building that desire. That's how I'm building that urgency. I'm building that like, ooh, listen, I know this is where you want to go. It's sold out for the entire August except on this weekend and they only have 6 rooms left. Before I continue searching, okay, that's where I want to start, right? I'm already building into it because that's what I want them to book. So I'm just going to make them book it like while I'm talking them into it, right? That's what it is. We want to create that curiosity. We want to create that urgency, that desire, that need to book it, okay? So instead of saying, Like, here's a full quote, here's this, right? I have a perfect option for exactly what you're describing, okay? Then we're going to send them whatever kind of information you need. Like Miss Courtney Palladino, I always talk about her because she's the one who really kind of taught me how to do this. But she would always tell me, like, just send them like a brief description of it. Like, just create a picture of it, okay? Make them want it before they see it. That's exactly what it is. Because now that I've built all that desire into it, then I drop the quote, right? They have everything. Now it's like, oh, right, you're right. I need to go in there and I need to book this, right? That's what you want to build into, okay? Now, before that, you still want to build the desire. You still want to qualify. You still want to do everything else, okay? So now we're on step 3. Now here's the ultimate no quote close part, okay? Before I sent him that quote, I was talking to him about, like, the different types of options that they have, where they're located, etc. I asked the guy, I said, hey, before I send anything like this, once I lock it in with this, are you going to be good to, close it? Like, is this going to be something that you're interested in booking? Yes. Okay. That is what I want to get. I want to get their agreement before I even do the research. Okay. So here's a rough script that you can do. Okay. Once I lock in your dates and budget, I'll secure the best option for you. Does that sound good? Okay. If they are looking at this point, they will normally stop you. I normally can get them to stop me before I continue. That sounds like something's going to be due, right? That looks like you're serious, right? I will get their agreement first before I do any heavy lifting. And that always doesn't happen, okay? That always doesn't mean that they're going to book. I don't want to put that much pressure on it, okay? But I tried to get them to do a no quote close before I even show them, because I don't want to do all of these quotings and you're not even going to actually book it, right? Every message must end with a clear question in a firm direction. Never leave it just open. That's exactly what that is. It's a firm direction that we want to close this, and it's a question where I can get them to commit to it, right? Now, let me ask you, are you guys doing this? Does anybody else do this? Are you guys getting commitment before you're building your quotes, or are you just out there rushing it? Because if you're out there rushing it without getting these type of commitments before, that's why they're not closing. They are not trying to close. You are trying to close people that didn't have intentions on closing. Yeah. We need to get them in there and say, hey, let me make sure this is what you want before I go and look. Like, a lot of times people will come to me, especially in the setting that I am in. They'll be like, book, and I'll comment, what are you interested in? Okay, cool. I don't really have any dates, but I like the idea of September. Okay. Why do you like the idea of September? Is there something going on in September? Like, what's going on? Child crying. Did you hear that? Just, I want to filter it. Like, I want to actually have a conversation with them so I can understand. Okay. Now, does that mean I don't sell a quote, or not sell a quote? Doesn't mean I not send a quote if that means like they don't answer me with that. No, I'm still going to send it. But what I'm trying to do is get them to secure anything before I do it, all of this extra stuff, right? And that's exactly what I'm trying to do when I'm doing the quote that I just sent the guy now. I got his agreement. He does want to, he sounds good. Let's do this, right? I process one quote. I set the urgency, trying to see how it plays out, right? I just don't want, what I'm trying to get for you guys to stop doing is putting all of this work on yourselves because you didn't qualify them correctly, or because you didn't get the micro commitment, or you didn't make sure that they were interested. Like, that's what I'm trying to get you guys to stop doing. So that way, when you come to me, you're like, oh, I'm not getting any bookings. Okay. This might be a reason why. If this is what you're doing and it's not working, this might be why. Okay. This is one of the reasons I cover it. Okay. Speaking of that, the 4 reasons they ghost you. 1, you give them too many choices. They automatically will ghost you with that. No sense of urgency. You see how I told you about the urgency with me closing that guy? That's like, hey, this is sell it out. You might want to do it, right? And then I'm so bad. Not only do I do that, but I went and posted it on my story too, because I'm like, I'm serious. Like, if you're not going to book it, somebody else is going to book it and it's going to close out. So when I sent him 2 versions of that quote, it's because I'm going to post it as a mock booking too. Okay. Like, I'm very like, it's okay. I get roughly like 15 to like 20 people commenting on all of my videos I've posted. And I have to sit down in spurts and like bust it out like at one time. And then I wait for them to respond and then I do it again, right? Like that's great. So I am one of those people that can say I don't really have a lead problem. What I have is like people like following down to the part where it closes, right? And I don't have it like in this setting. It says then I have to filter these people out, okay? Because I got a lot of inquiries. So you have to sit and you have to filter. And it's not a problem. It's a good problem to have. But you have to learn how to do that, or you will do this thing where you're constantly sending out quotes and nobody's like booking with you. And then you come to me and you're frustrated. And I'm like, this is why, okay? It's exactly why we're doing a part 2 of this. But general confusion is a good reason they might not want to book with you because they don't see you as an expert, and as well, no leadership from you. You have to give them a just complete direction of what you want them to do in order for them to do it, okay? You have to basically simplify the decision for booking travel. That's exactly what our job is to do, right? So noting that, we need to match their energy and navigate any type of objections or pushback that we may have, okay? Starbucks time. Okay. Calm client. We need to keep the process simple. Excited client. They will move at a faster pace, but always make sure you lead them and don't let them spiral on you because excited people tend to spiral. Okay. So we need to make it to where it's just a smooth pathway. So with that, okay, if we get an objection where they tell you, well, right now, I'm just looking, okay? If they're just looking, we could still quote these people. That doesn't mean that they're not going to book with you, but they might book with you later. So that's a mock booking for me. I'm going to quote it, okay? But before I get into the just looking, we need to qualify them more. What is their timeline? We need to filter it, okay? If they really have no intentions on booking, I respect it, keep it moving, right? But if they can give me a rough month idea and I can filter it down from there, sounds good. Too expensive. That means we didn't qualify them correctly when it comes to their budget. And I would, before I even continue, adjust the options, okay? They need to think about it. Okay, fine. You could think about it. Would you like for me to hold it for pricing, right? We can hold a lot of our stuff. So would you like for me to hold it? And then the ghosting, okay? If they lead you on a path where they are ghosting you, follow up simply and then keep it moving. Anytime that you guys have problems with this, I always do. I have it here. Don't I have it here? No, I don't have it. Okay. I really thought I had it. That's depressing. Okay, fine. So when it comes to ghosting, I always follow up, and then within the first couple of days, when I send a quote, if they don't respond to me, I'll follow up within the week, and then I will follow up one more time, giving them either a new option or giving them a repeat option with different pricing so they can see it. And if no response, then I keep it moving. But if you come to my trainings on, what is today, Tuesday? Thursday, right? Where I'm talking about how to keep leads warm. I'm going to tell you guys what to do with the people that ghost you. Okay. So make sure you hop on that training too. But let me ask you, what objection do you guys hear the most? What do you guys like feel the most? Now you're probably wondering, why does Ash keep asking us questions today? She can't really see the chat. Good question. This is what I'm going to start basing my trainings off of. The feedback that you guys give me is going to build the direction of my trainings. So if more of you guys are telling me that they're ghosting you, or the options are too expensive, or they need to think, or they're just looking, that's going to help me kind of filter out what trainings I need for you guys. So make sure you respond. Okay. I see them. Don't worry. All right. Now, the confidence close. This is another one you guys do. This one irks my nerves when you guys do that. A lot of you will just send a quote and be like, all right, let me know. No. Nope. We have to start filtering them down. Okay. I can lock this in with the deposit. If you're ready, I can secure this for you now. Or in my setting, the example I gave you, there's 6 rooms left and you need to book this now. Even if you can't do the airport right now, we can do that later. Here it is how much you can just lock it in. $50 deposit per person. Lock that in now because you don't want to miss the room, right? Assume the booking, be calm, direct, and confident. A lot of you guys will come in, especially when it comes to like the pricing, and you guys will get nervous because you're like, they might find a better price. They might this. I don't care. Like this, we already discussed this. Learn the value of yourself. That is the value of my work. That's the best price I can get it. You want it, you want it. right? Now, that doesn't mean, quote, crazy high prices. I still price check, okay, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is you got to be confident about it. Once you deliver that price, don't matter at that point. You got to get clear, confident, direct, calm. You know exactly what you're doing. Keep it going, right? Now, making the deposit painless. So 90% of the times we get deposits, okay? If I have a deposit in a setting, I will first of all break it down and keep it digestible for all of us involved. If it's $2,200, that means it's $1,100 per person. That's how I'm going to sell it. They understand the total price. They'll see it, but I need to break it down so that they can digest it because they don't understand how cheap it is to go for $2,200 to Cancun, right? We know it, but they don't. So how I need to sell it is okay, the total is $2,200 or $1,100 per person, and the deposit today is only $200. Okay. Now I know that looks a little crazy on the screen, but the reason I want you guys to understand this is because that is your advantage. That is the confident close that you need right there is in that. Okay. A lot of people don't use this because you being able to say, well, the deposit's only $200 a day or today to secure it. That's exactly a great way to close it with confidence because you're giving them something that they probably can't find, right? Now, do you guys explain that correctly? Do you guys do this? Like when I do my quoting to them, you can see my quotes. If you go to my stories, I have my quotes every time I do a quote. I post it in my story most of the time. Sometimes I forget, but it's up there, okay? Those exactly, $50 deposit per person. Even I would break this down too. Well, this is $200 per person, okay? But if it was like $100 per person, listen, it's only $100 per person to close it today. You might as well go and do it. We can make payments over time. This is when the payments are due. You have plenty of time to close it. That's what you want to build into, okay? Now, with that, the hard truth, if you are sending quotes, if you're not closing, you are technically just researching for free. So if this is your issue, if you run into this, you need to sit down and you need to ask yourself, are you closing or are you just quoting, all right? If you come to me, especially those who come to me and go, I'm not getting any bookings, the first thing I'm going to ask you is it a lead problem or a conversation problem? Because now we've had this discussion, right? A lead problem we can solve by marketing. A conversation problem, we need to sit down and figure out what your process is when you get these leads and what you're doing with them. That's the biggest thing that you have to focus on, okay? Because we don't want to be around out here just quoting people. We want to bring them in, right? So after tonight, we can all learn the process here. Our first job is to qualify them. We need to control that conversation by guiding them, filtering them, pulling them down to the close by building desire and stacking yeses, and then going in and getting that no quote close before we even send out the information. Yes. Once we get that, then we send the details. So that is something you guys need to sit down and think about, all right? You don't need more leads. You need better conversations, and you got to start taking control today, okay? So what are you going to do with this training? What is one thing that you're changing after this, right? The next time you have a conversation with one of your leads, I want you to end it with a question. I want you to give them a direction in the question, like, this is what I recommend. This is what you should do. This is the next step. Then question. Sound good? Is this what you want to do? Like, I want you to go all the way through with it, okay? Don't just start sending information and then hope for the best. Guide them into that quote before you even get it out, all right? So go ahead, guys. Let me know how you feel about this. This is all I really have for you guys tonight. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment and let me know how you feel about it. If you have questions, I will answer them, of course, in the chat box now that I'm heading over there. And of course, like I said, share with your teams, comment if it helps, like the video, and make sure you guys come back on Thursday at 5 p.m. PST, where I'm going to talk about the people that are ghosting you, the ones that have maybe already booked and now you don't know what to do with them. I got you. All right. Hop on then. I will teach you guys how to keep them warm. Yes? All right. So I'm going to head over to my studio now. I will meet you guys there. If you have anything for me, make sure you drop it. And if not, I will see you back here on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.